Day 52.5, part 6. Part 6. So we went to do our neighborhood walk. All that. And again, I should say I had to get down on one knee and apologize to my daughter, and to say I'm sorry you had to see me upset like that. But I explained. I mean, she understands. I said to her, I want to see you be able to go back to school and to be with your friends. And she nodded to that. And actually, one thing I didn't mention in the last video is that in the heat of my discussion with this person, I pointed to my kids and I'd said, you see them? They want to go back to school. And then I turned back to him, I said, how long do you want this to go on for? Maybe it's me. I don't know. It's a weird psychological scenario to be in. I think a lot of people are feeling that. Again, I talked to some friends today that are quite frustrated when you see people not following the rules that we're being asked to follow. I mean, this is the thing. I think it would be impossible for the governments and authorities to actually enforce them. Let's just say that everybody all of a sudden said, screw it. Not going to do it anymore. There's nothing that could be done to prevent that if everyone decided to not follow the rules. So it is interesting, isn't it, that even though we know how bad this can be for us, we do it because it's the right thing and we know that it will save lives. At least most of us do. So we do our walk, and this follows through nicely. And we walk by the house of one of our neighbors who, two parents with 3 young boys, not that different in age from my girls, a little bit older, but 3 young boys. And I know they've been working really hard to keep them busy. And they put up something above their garage. Big, cool duct tape with patterns on it. They wrote big letters across their house, their garage basically, "We rise by lifting others." We rise by lifting others. Big letters. I turned to my daughter, I said, look at that. Now that's a good message. And I took a picture of it. I said, well, yeah, what would you put above if you could write a message on our house, what would you put? And she said, we're all in this together. Now she's seen that one elsewhere. I said, yeah, that's good. And she also said, or keep hoping. That's what my daughter's really thinking. Keep hoping. That comes from her. I said, that's good too. I like that. Keep hoping. We get home. And it's the time I let them run around in our front yard. Has to be our front yard because, again, there's a pool in my backyard and not safe to run around there. So our front yard is where they play, and it's kind of semi-fenced. And my daughter finds a snail. And we weren't sure, is just an empty shell? Or I looked under and I'm like, no, I think there's a snail in there. He's just really backed up in there. Maybe he's sleeping or maybe he's scared. Somehow I've been able to make my daughters have the same love of nature that I do. even if it's a tiny little bug. And she's like, Daddy, can I make a home for it? Now, we've done this before, where you find a little tub, you fill it with some dirt. Yes, we've done this before. She likes making little homes for bugs, snails. Woodlouses are fun. And snails. Snails aren't going to run away on you very quickly. Woodlouses, they can disappear. So I was like, sure, go get a Tupperware from the house. Get some plastic Tupperware. We fill it with some dirt, put some leaves and some sticks in there, and put in the snail. What are you going to call him? She just came up with the word slowpoke. Slowpoke for a snail. And I said, that's a very good name too. So we got our little home for Slowpoke. And I said, well, at some point, you do have to let him go. Right? It's not right to just keep him caged up. Which is ironic, because we were just talking about in the previous video about how it's not fair to keep people caged up in their homes. And I think she had said something like that. Yeah. Later in the day, my older daughter said something like, I'm locked away in my house. I can't remember the context of which it came out, but I looked at my wife at that moment, and then I came down on her level, and I said, you're not locked up. You're free. You can go out. We can go out. Where were we yesterday? We went to visit my mom, but we kept our distance from her. So you're not locked up. And I guess she's heard the phrase locked down. Yeah, so I said, you gotta let Slowpoke free at some point. Let him crawl out. Don't put a lid on. Okay, I think I'm almost near the end here. So my wife, when she was done her work for the day, she said, get some potting soil that we have left over from last year. So I got seeds in the mail. And I'm going to start to sort of germinate them, I guess. So she has the little plastic things where you put dirt in each one and then you plant a seed. Something to do with the kids. Yeah. Always up for that. So I bring in this big sack of topsoil. Didn't have any potting soil left over. It was just topsoil, but perfectly good for growing vegetables and things like that, because that's what she was asking me. And there was some daddy long leg spider on the bag, and of course my two kids saw this and they got freaked out again. And I said, okay, don't kill the spider. Just let me pick it up, put it outside. Don't kill the spider. Coming back to that conversation I started today with, about how my fear was that at some point we have to make a choice between saving lives due to COVID versus saving lives due to people facing economic disaster. The spider reminded me of saying, don't kill the spider, and what's going through my head is, don't kill people. Is this a dream? Maybe I'm just really tired. Last thing, assignment for my daughter. One of her homework assignments from virtual school. Her teacher asked her to do a survey. She said, you can do the survey any way you want. You can ask your neighbors from a distance, or you can use social media. My wife says, I'll use social media with her. The question to ask and survey people is, what do you miss the most before the pandemic that you used to do? And then graph the results. So my wife asked this online. Here were the choices. Boy, she got a lot of comments too. 28 comments. Let's see if I can... Yeah, so your choices were going to restaurants with your family, going to work or school, going on play dates and seeing friends, or going to the mall and shopping. I'm going to quickly scan through and see what most people said. Let's see. Going to work and seeing friends, play dates and friends. Oh, Andrew said going to the mall. Interesting. Well, seeing friends, seeing friends, seeing friends, seeing friends. Definitely seeing friends. Seeing friends. It's all seeing friends and play dates. Wow. Oh, there's one restaurant. 2 restaurants. But I guess you go to a restaurant, you go with friends, right? What's the point? Nobody goes to a restaurant on their own. Unless you have to, right? Travel related. And there you go. What an amazing day.